Hello Flosstube, my name is Shanna and welcome to video number 2. Sorry I look a little crazy. Here in Oregon, it is very cold. I have been bringing firewood to the deck all morning, checking on my greenhouse to make sure all the windows were closed, checking on my herbs. The wind is absolutely crazy. It feels like you're being bit. I think my braids are frozen icicles, so I'm going to keep this furry wild hat on until I thaw out a little bit. I only have a little window of time to get this video done before the boys come back, so we're gonna go with it. Last video I was talking about cards, and right in the middle of my video I could not find my cards. They had gotten stuck on the bottom of my dough bowl. So let's just jump right in and talk about cards. If you want to send someone a card and you don't know if they will keep the cross stitch, I have some really good ideas. Window cards or photo cards. You can get blank ones like this. I buy these in bulk off of Amazon. You can get like a box of 50 with matching envelopes for really cheap. Or you can get the pre-printed ones. There's a candy cane. More candy canes. But this one's really cute. Little Santa Claus. There we go. And this is my favorite. I found a box of these at the Goodwill, and I just thought, how cute would a little Lizzie Kate snowman on a sled scene be in that? Okay, so there's some ideas of window or photo cards. You can take a blank one like this, and you can turn it into, you can stamp, make it grungy, you can ink it, distress it, all kinds of things. Here's one that I've done, and here's another that I've done. And this is double-sided foam sticky tape. I'm going to show you what we're going to do with this. It comes in rolls like this. You can get them at the Dollar Tree. I think you get 2 of these in the pack for $1.25. What you're going to do is you're going to take some perforated paper or plastic even, and you can stitch an image. I'm going to use the ice skate. I added a little hanger, and what you're going to do, oh no, it's stuck again. Okay. You're just going to add it right on to the card, and if the person that you give the card to does not like to recycle and keep cards, they can just take it off and hang it on the tree as an ornament. You can even add a little hang tag with your initials and the year. I think that would be really cute. And I'll show you it on this one. Just pull them on and off. I don't normally just do primitive, but I'm really into the primitive. I don't know if it's from being at the antique malls so much or it's just rubbed off on me. Here's a snowman one. You just pull it right off, and this one's on the plastic, white plastic. So there's some ideas for you. Okay, oh, I showed you how on the snowman candle lid ornament, I did how I punch needled the fringe on his hat. Well, I went ahead and did a Santa Claus to show you. Here is a cinnamon stick Santa, and I just stitched him. I had a little piece of trim left over, I tea-dyed it, but you can see how I punch needled here, and on the little fringe, he's holding a little ornament. And you just add the cinnamon sticks. I also did this little, this is from Heart and Hand, this design, but I changed it up. He's holding a little candy cane. I punch needled his scarf, and I made his hat taller, and he's holding a strand of snowflakes, and I added candy canes. You can add candy canes, cinnamon sticks, just about anything. And what's fun about these is if you have leftover fabric after you frame it, and it's like 2 to 3 inches wide, but it's really long, and you're like, what am I going to do with this? I don't really want to throw it away. Turn them into these. Just put some cinnamon sticks and hang them on the tree, give them as gifts. They're really fun to do, and they're quick stitches. Added a couple beads, and I just glued on some snowflakes. These are so much fun to do. Also, a tip. I want to talk about this because I learned the hard way. Punch needle comes out very, very easily. So when I'm done punch needling, before I turn it into the ornament, I will take some glue, and I will, you know how when you start the punch needle or you end it, there's like this little tail. Take some glue and just dab it on there. And then when it dries, it'll hold it. And that way when you're putting candy canes or cinnamon sticks in, it won't grab. It'll just be just like that. Okay, I finished Malachi's stocking, fully finished, and I want to share something with you. He had a blanket last year for Christmas, and I didn't want to throw it away. I didn't know what to do. So I held on to it for this year, and I gave it to him, and he wasn't really into it. He likes the big fluffy blankets where he can just waller and put his face in it. So this is the print, and you can see how thin it was. It's like a felt, I don't know, flannel, I guess. Really thin flannel. So I used that, and I used it to finish his stocking. And here's the back. I added some thicker baker's twine and just some little wooden snowflakes. Also, I want to show you the pattern again, just in case you want to stitch it. It's Sam, Sarah, Snow Kids. And what I thought was so cute when I was using the blanket part to finish the quilt, I came across a tag and it said Pottery Barn Kids. And so I removed the tag and I just put it right in there. Just as a memory, I just thought it was so cute. Okay. Where are we at? Oh, yes. I watched a movie called Cinderella Man with my husband years ago, and it reminded me of all of the stories my great-grandmother and my grandparents would tell me about the good old days, and then watching the movie about the Great Depression, and just I did research on it and just how much creativity came out of the Great Depression, of the scrapwork quilts, the grain and flour sack dresses, and how they would use wood and make buttons out of wood, wooden buttons. They were so resourceful, and I just always had that in the back of my mind that was something I wanted to incorporate into my stitching. So my son was in 5th grade, and I got invited to go on a field trip. We were going to see Polar Express, and Starbucks sponsored it. We got free cocoa. It was an amazing day. And when I got home, all the kids were like, oh my gosh, we're on Christmas vacation, we're on Christmas break. And they were bouncing off the walls. I'm like, we got to do something. So I'm like, let's do some scrapbooking. So I went down, got the box full of my son's trinkets that I had saved. And I thought I was going to do a scrapbook page. In my mind, that's what I thought. But when I got the box and we laid it out on the table, I realized I had more fabric than anything else. And so this is what I came up with. This is my first one. I'm sorry about the light. It is so dark and stormy out. My husband strung this lamp up for me, this overhead light. These were all done out of his scrap shirts and khaki pants, and from seeing Polar Express that day. Let's see, here we go. I came home and I made a little magic jingle bell to stick in this pocket. My son thought it was the cutest thing ever. He loved it. When he was in kindergarten through 3rd grade, he had to go to a school. Well, he didn't have to, but his school decided they were going to have everybody wear uniforms. So he had to wear dark blue pants and white polo shirts. So this was a tag off his polo shirt. And then the back fabric, I just had a big piece of this snowflake fabric, and I thought it went really cute with this. So I used it. And there was the first scrap work quilt I ever made. That same day, I took one of his sweatshirts, and it was a mad mess. It had holes in the sleeves, holes just everywhere, because he is a skateboarder and nothing. You cannot keep anything without holes. So I made him a hat out of his old hoodie. And here's the zipper. And now our grandson, Malachi, wears it. And it's still going. Then I found a shirt in the box, and it was a shirt. I had to beg my son to retire. He would wear this shirt like every day if I would let him, and pretty soon it wasn't long sleeve anymore. It was like quarter sleeve, and I'm like, kid, we have to, it's time to retire the shirt. So after I was done with the quilt that day, I made this ornament. It is from Heart and Hand. And I put some beads on the handle. Oh, I used green. And this was what the shirt looked like. It's kind of wonky because it's stretchy material, and I was not a sewer at the time at all. It was one of my first projects, and then it had the little gap tag on it. So I made that, and our daughter was like, Mom, are you gonna make me some? Sure, why not? And I made her some. Her room was done in like pastel-y, shabby chic, I guess you would call it. So all of her curtains that I had made her and her duvet cover, I had leftover fabric. So I used it, and I made her little snowman to go on her tree. Snow girls, I should say. I added little pigtails. Our daughter always had pigtails going on. And her tree is really cute. It has gumdrops and little cupcakes, and oh, this one was cute. Jesus with the heart. And when she was younger, her nursery was done in lambs, little baby sheep, and butterflies. And this was one I had stitched. And so I just turned it into a ornament. I got a really good idea one year. I had ran out of hang tags for gifts, and I did not want to go to the store. So I went through my cross stitch supplies, and I had a bunch of just little tiny random pieces of fabric that I had kept, and I thought, why not use them and make something like this? So these are the first tags, Christmas tags I ever made. This one was, I think I gave a couple to my mom because she wrote in this one. Oh yeah, made by Shanna, 2005. Wow. So you can make little snowman hats. You can make snowflakes. Just look at the little tiny piece of fabric. It only takes a little bit. So you could use up the scraps and make some of those. Then, oh, let's see what I've done. After that idea, I decided, well, why don't we, instead of doing gift tags on gifts every single year, why don't I make some and then we'll just use them every year? So I gathered the family together, and I was asking them, what would you like to be for Christmas? I think they thought I was losing my mind. Like, are we dressing up? What are you talking about? And I'm like, no, if you could be an image, if you could be something that represented Christmas, what would you be? Well, my son understood the assignment. He said peppermint. Okay, peppermint. Awesome. You're going to be a peppermint. I decided to be the snowflake. Our daughter decided to be the snowman. And then last year she changed on me and wanted to be a reindeer, so that was fun. My husband looked at me like I was crazy, and so I picked for him. And I decided, I saw this pattern by Lizzie Kate, and so we were going to go with the polar bear for the husband. So I got to work, and my gosh, I have a lot of different polar bears that I did. Are these all the same? Yeah, I'm going to grab a couple that are different. Oh, this one's a little different. Okay. Let me grab these. So I went through all of my patterns, and this one was by Bent Creek. And then this one, let me show you the pattern to this one first because it's so cute. You might want to stitch it. Peppermint Polar Bear. So all of the gifts, the boxes, the bags that have polar bears are for my husband. All the ones that have snowflakes are for me, and the peppermint for our son, and so on. So every year I just use those tags, and that's how we do it. Oh, and also, let me show you again. On this pattern, these weren't made for hang tags. These were made for these little sleds. So you can buy these. I think I got these at Acorns and Threads years ago. These little sleds, they're so much fun to work with. And I had a couple more ideas. I just used all the scraps. So I did this little snowman. And you could use all kinds of hang tags, different shapes. And I think they have these at Joann Fabrics or Dollar Tree. They're kind of like chalkboard ones. So you can make all kinds of hang tags. Okay, where am I at? Oh, I already did that. Last year in my bathroom, I wanted it like a winter wonderland. I had it in creams and sparkles and just really feminine and just really pretty. I did some jingle bells and I had put them in, I don't know, oh, there you go, some glitter. And I just wanted it really soft and pretty. And I had this pattern and I had never stitched it and I thought I just wanted to stitch it. Where am I at? Here we go. So I did this one because I needed something to hang. I had this shelf that I did and I had little hooks on it, and so I needed something to hang on the hooks. So I just very loosely finished it because I'm thinking now that I want to make this into a long stocking. I'm thinking about doing some red stripe ticking for the toe and then the heel and then maybe on the top. I don't know. I really like this. I just used all old scrap stuff to create this. But I loved it hanging in there. It turned out really good. Okay, word. I wanted to challenge myself and I wanted to do a vignette. And I thought, I don't even know what the word is, but I always see one of my favorite YouTubers. She's not a Flosstuber. She is a home decorating. She's just amazing. Her name is Liz. Her channel is called Traditions by the Seasons. And she's always doing vignettes. And so I looked up the word vignette. And this is what I found. I looked it up on Pinterest. And Diane Miller, her definition of the word was just, I loved it. This is what she says. Vignettes are a delightful gathering or grouping of items. I like to call them moments. They might be an artful expression on a tabletop or a grouping that includes pieces of furniture, artwork, and more. I love this next part. They are the jewelry in the room. I said, yes, cross stitch is our jewelry. That's how I perceive it. So I wanted to do a vignette and I wanted to challenge myself and do a different color. My whole house is pretty much cottage with the whites and farmhousey colors, and I wanted to do something different, and I knew I wanted to incorporate black. So I started out, I had this little black cabinet with a glass door, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna challenge myself and I'm going to do black. So I found this pattern. It's called Mr. Jingles. And he has stick legs. Well, I wasn't up for the challenge on the stick legs. So the other two patterns that I have by the same person, here, I'll just show you. There's Matilda, the Frady cat. See how they use the candlestick for the bottom of these? I decided I'm just going to use a candlestick. I already have a black one anyway. So here's my take on Mr. Jingles. Okay, let me go back here so you can see him. I used these. These are the Sock Monkey socks. I used that for his hat, and I just tied it with some jingle bells and did some little stitches. His eyes are scrapbook brads. And then I just did some little jingle bells right here. Oh, my hands are a mess from the firewood. Oh my goodness, my manicure. Sorry. I just wanted to get this video done. So I did him, and I thought, okay, he's gonna be cute. I sat him by the cabinet, and I stood back, and I was like, I need something else. I went and I found this pattern, Forrest the Snowman, Sisters and Best Friends. And I decided to do this one because of the socks. the little sock monkey socks. I thought, oh, it would go really cute with Mr. Jingle's hat. So, this is not fully, well, it's framed, but I need to go back and lace it. I wasn't sure if I wanted to do this or not, but here he is. He turned out cute. I'm going to keep him in this. I just think he looks really cute. And I had the mat board. It was already cut, and it fit. And then I had the frame. Oh, is his nose wonky? I made his nose out of clay, and I just baked it. And I made his little buttons to look like coal. They're little clay baked buttons too. So I did him, set him up, and stood back, and I thought, okay, I need something smaller now. And I remembered I had this black frame I got at the Dollar Tree. It was black, and I took the piece of cardboard to measure so I could figure out what I wanted to do, and I came up with this idea. I had a bunch of this. Every time I go to an estate sale or a garage sale, I have a rule: no thread and no fabric left behind. If it's for stitching, I'm going to bring it home. If it's patterns, I'll leave it for someone else if I know I'm not going to stitch it. But all the fabric, floss, threads, they come home with me. I find these all the time. It's like a canvas, and I was not sure. I've not really seen anyone stitch with these. And so I brought them home. I have a whole box of it. And I came up with this. I inked it because it was white. So I inked it with blue, Tim Holtz Distressed Blue ink. And I stitched a little cream snowflake. And then the wooden beads matched the framed piece. The fabric that I used, it was like a 28 count linen I used. So that was all working out. I was really excited. I had my vignette almost complete. I was so excited. I was like, okay. But I looked at the top of the little cabinet I had, and I was like, no, I need something else. I need something sitting. I need something little to sit on there. And I thought, well, maybe a framed piece. And I remembered, no, there was this little snowman right here with the little sock monkey socks. Now, I was intimidated. I didn't think I could do this, but I did. I had some fabric left over to match the framed piece, the 28 count linen. And so here he is. I added some little fringe to his scarf. I don't like little headed snowmen. I like big head snowmen. And so to make his head a little bigger, I added some pom-poms in the gray blue color to match Mr. Jingle's sweater, and then black wire for the band on his earmuffs. And then here is his little socks made from the sock monkey socks. So I set him on the vignette. I wish I knew how to edit. I will get there, I hope. I still don't even know how to get on the community page on my iPad. It says that service is not available for my iPad. I'm not sure why. I might have to turn something on. So I'm getting there. But if I knew how to edit, I would show you the vignette. It is so cute. And if I knew how to insert pictures, I would just take a picture and show you. But we'll get there one day. And I made his little nose out of clay. Where am I at? There we go. And there he is. I want to share this one last tip with you. Since I was into the antique business for a while, I came up with some really creative, you have to have what's called fillers, and I would just take things that could be vintage or old, and I would just put them and tuck them into places. Well, Halloween came, and I did a bunch of these cans for Halloween, and they were just regular like soup cans or spaghetti cans, and I just downloaded a Halloween theme. I kept selling them. I even did a spam can one, and I could not keep them in stock, and I was like, who's buying all of these? Well, come to find out, the other vendors thought they were so cute. They were buying them and putting them in their booths, and so I thought that was fun. So for Christmas, I thought I should do a couple. Malachi broke one of my candy canes. He was playing hockey, and the hook part broke off the candy cane, and I thought, well, I'll just break them up and use them and put them in this. So here's the Santa Claus one. And all this is just a soup can. I painted white, made some holes with a nail and a hammer, added, I don't even know, pipe cleaners, I think these are called. Added those, and these would be so cute to make fudge or cookies, little snowball cookies, and give as gifts. Really cute container. I'll show you this one too. This one, I tried to do this again. This was an accident how I made this. I painted this one black, downloaded this image, and my printer was being wonky, and I got these really weird stripes. And I loved it. And I thought, oh my gosh, I want to do another one because I want to use this image in like a junk journal. Tried to do it again. Oh no, my printer decided it was going to print normal. So this is the only one I have. And then I had this old Jingle Bell, and I added some little white bottle brushed Christmas trees in here. But I just thought these would be so cute to put, you know, fudge or long dipped pretzels in and give them to neighbors, and I just thought it was cute. So that's another idea for you. I want to say happy Hanukkah. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas. And as always, I want to tell you guys, be blessed, be creative, and be loved. Until next time. Mwah.